What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the first hunting boot camp of the season. Yes, that's right, the off season is now upon us. By special request, I'm doing this one. I've been asked this a couple times by some people, and it is simply, what camera gear do I run? So I'm going to talk about all my cameras I run and a few of the accessories I run with them, just to give you guys kind of an idea of what I use. By no means, if you're looking into self-filming your hunts or whatever, you don't have to use these, but this is just what I like, what I found that works. So getting into it, I guess the most obvious are my GoPros. I have two GoPros on every hunt I go out on. One is like a secondary GoPro I just put out over the marsh, and that just constantly runs. You know, I've got a memory card in it. It'll last for about 5 hours, 40 minutes, something like that. And then I put it on a battery pack so it doesn't die. So these two GoPros here are the GoPro Hero 5 Black and the GoPro Hero 6 Black. These are just the ones that I got. I've had this one since I started filming my hunts, and I'll show you some footage of that here. And they're both pretty similar. They're both completely waterproof unless you take off the case, which if you want any audio or to hook it into a battery pack, you have to do that. There's like a little protective just tab that you can put on and off, and when you do that, then it's waterproof. When you take it off, it's not. But that's it right there. They've got both that back screens on the back. You can change them. They can take pictures, looping video, just video. You can change the FPS, the resolution. You can change the field of view. So if you want it just like a typical camera, or if you want the fisheye effect, or like super zoomed in, you can change all that on here. And then you can mess around with like ISO and stuff like that, not too much of an extent. So if you're looking at using any action cam, which is what these GoPros are, action cams, you know, ones you put on your head or your chest for fishing, hunting, action sports, whatever, I would highly recommend going with a GoPro. It doesn't have to be the 5 or the 6 or the 7 or the 8. You know, you can find cheaper GoPros, older ones that have either been refurbished or haven't sold yet, on Amazon for you know, maybe $100 or so, maybe even cheaper than that if you find them garage sale, or you know, you just find the right deal. And when I started out, I had a Hero 3 Plus, and then I moved up to a 4, and then I've just kind of, you know, been upgrading each year, and I think I found the ones that I actually like, that I really like. You know, it seems like each time GoPro comes out with a new one, they improve a little bit. So like the 5 to the 6, there's not a lot other than maybe a little bit more image stabilization, and maybe I think they changed the ISO just a bit so you can see a little better in dark. But that's it. These are fairly similar action cameras, and the 7 and the 8 are a lot more advanced, but you're gonna pay a lot more. And this time, you know, by August, they probably have the GoPro Hero 9 out. So, and who knows what that's going to happen. It seems like every year, about August, September, they come out with a new GoPro. And then you can buy the last year's model a lot cheaper. But I would recommend getting GoPro just for the fact that the customer service is there. You can look up any problems you might have with them online, and it's more than likely going to be answered. And they have, you know, it's just name recognition, and they're a well-built product. There's some action cams, some of the footage I've seen, and just ones that I've been around, they don't operate as easily, they don't look as good. You know, the image quality just ain't there. You get what you pay for, you really do. And so if you're getting serious about, you know, self-filming hunts, or even you just want a GoPro and have some awesome video, I would recommend GoPro. It doesn't have to be the Hero 5 Black or the Hero 6 Black. These are both great cameras though. Like I said, they're up to the 7 and the 8 now. These ones, they're great. You know, this is the first generation. They did the back screen thing on both of them, and that's a lot nicer. The old ones, you couldn't see anything. But you know, that's pretty much it. My biggest gripe, and I know a lot of people complain about this, my biggest gripe with GoPro is the battery life. The battery life on these is not great. So you've got this battery here, and they'll last, if it's warm or decently warm, they'll last, you know, maybe an hour. If it's super cold, they'll last 15 minutes if you leave them on. So those cold hunts that you see me go on, I'm always constantly turning it off and turning it on, trying to save battery life, because you know, you don't want to, obviously you don't want to be changing batteries when there's birds coming in, so you got to do your best. And that's what's great about these, is all you have to do is press the red button on top of them and it'll turn them on. Like, you know, it's not even powered on right now, it'll turn them on and then they'll start recording. That's you know, the older generation, the Hero 3 Plus, the 4, they didn't do that, but they started it with the 5, and all the new ones do that. So that's another reason I like these. And then you obviously need a memory card. So what I run is a SanDisk Ultra 128 gig. Now it's going to cost you a little more, the 128 gig, but you don't have to dump your memory cards every time. And for my secondary camera that just runs constantly, I have to have that so I can record that long. And even then, it fills up, you know. And they make memory sticks up to like 256. There might be even ones bigger than that. You gotta pay a little bit for them, but you by no means have to go out and buy a 128 gig memory stick. It just depends how much memory you'd like to have on your GoPro. So if you're doing an all-day hunt, you're gonna have to be a little more selective with what you want to record. But that's pretty much it with the GoPros. They're great. I test them underwater with the seal on them, and they work. You know, it still works. I was able to use it all year, so it is truly waterproof. The mics on these newer ones are great too. The mics are right up here on the corner, and I think there's one up on top too. I think there's 2 mic spots for them. The only thing is, if you have even a little bit of wind, you know, it's a flat surface, so you're gonna get that wind screaming, kind of scratching sound no one really likes. So that's why, one, I have the tab torn off, and you got to get you one of these if you want to counter that. And this is just a adapter. It goes right on the side here of your GoPro, and it has an audio jack. It has another jack too, but it has an audio jack. You just plug it in, got your mic here, and you know, just clip it on to your shirt or whatever, wherever you want. You clip it on your hat too, wherever you want a mic, and then your audio will be a lot more clear. And I honestly need to get a windscreen for this. This kind of helps, but I need a bigger one that kind of really cuts down on the windscreen. But I would recommend that too. You know, if you're going to be using it anywhere where there might be a lot of wind, or you just want better audio quality. The thing is you can only buy these through GoPro, and they charge a pretty penny for them. I think they're like 50-60 bucks just for this. The mic themselves, you know, they're $5 to $10 depending which ones you get. They're not bad. And the older ones, they have a different adapter, and those are a lot cheaper. And there's some secondary companies that make those, and they're like $10-15. So but if you want great audio quality, the adapter and stuff all works. The only problem, or my only gripe, other than the price of the adapter, is you put the GoPro in your head mount here, and you can use a head mount. I've got a chest mount too for fishing. If you watch any fishing guys, they all have the chest mounts. That's a pretty common thing. But you put this adapter in, you plug it in here, now you got this big thing dangling off your head, you know. So you can tuck it in here. It's not the most comfortable, especially when you put earmuffs over your, you know, so you don't blow your eardrums out. And you got this big wad of wire here, and you got to tuck that back in here. So put that mic here, good to go. But like I said, that's annoying. You could make something so you tape it to the outside of this if you wanted to. You could figure some stuff out. And if it's like dead calm, I won't even run a mic until the wind starts kicking up. But I try to use my mic as much as I can, just because the audio is that much more clear. So that's about all for the GoPro, except I'll show you one more thing on there. Take that out. This is the battery pack. This is from Refuel, and this is for the 5, 6, 7. I don't know if it works for the 8 or not, but you just snap her in like that. There you go. You turn the power on here, charges right here. This is completely waterproof, and it's supposed to last about 9 hours, and in warm weather it does. It'll keep your GoPro running for about 9 hours. In cold weather it's about half that. Like I said, cold saps all camera batteries, not just GoPro, digital camera, phone. It's just hard on the batteries. But this is a nice little thing, you know, this is what I put my secondary cam on all the time, and I'll just turn it on, hit record, and let it roll. And away it goes until the hunt's over, pretty much. That's how I get all them secondary shots. So I would look into that. If you buy like a Hero 3 Plus or a Hero 4, they also have battery packs for those. And they last, some of them last up to 12 hours, some of them 6. It's kind of whatever, you know, whatever you need. And it's a little different system, but about the same deal. So that covers it with GoPros. So the third camera I use is just my phone. So if you're just starting out, you know, and you want to self-film and do whatever, I would just say all you need really is a GoPro and a phone, just starting out. You know, it's pretty easy. Everyone, or most everyone, has a smartphone these days, and you just turn your camera on, and it has a video feature, either an iPhone or a Galaxy or whatever you have. They're pretty decent video quality, and you could even get a mic for them too. But they're pretty decent video quality, and you can, you know, they're serviceable. And that's what I did for the whole first year I filmed, was just use my phone and GoPros. Then I upgraded to the camera that this is currently being filmed on, a Sony a6300, and I'll actually get a video here for you guys of that. So here is the camera that I'm filming this on. Obviously I'm using my phone, but this is a Rode mic with a windscreen, so once again you don't have that wind scratch on it. And then this is the a6300. I have an 18 by 50 millimeter lens, and it also came with like a 55 by 200 millimeter. I don't use that too often just because it's a little bulky, but for filming or for taking pictures I do. And then this is just the back side, so you can see right there, there's the screen that pops out, image finder, and then it, you know, has all the different, I mean, it's a DSLR. It's a DSLR camera. You can adjust the ISO and shooting rate, and you can do a bunch of stuff with them. It's just kind of, you know, you just got to kind of figure it out, and it's a learning process. But you can't go wrong with Sony, Nikon, Canon. You just got to kind of find out what's in your budget and what'll work for you if you want to buy a DSLR. But that is all I have for you guys. You know, other than, I guess the only other thing is this tripod, and it's just a cheap tripod off Amazon. Not much to it, and that's great just for taking pictures and like stationary shots with the good camera. But a lot of, if you're getting into cameras, you're getting into filming, you gotta look at what your budget dictates. Don't go out and buy the most expensive stuff just starting out. I mean, it's just like hunting, you know. You're not gonna take up duck hunting and go out and buy 5 dozen duck decoys and 10 dozen goose decoys and a trailer and a motorboat and all that if you don't even know you like it, right? Just start small and then keep upgrading every other year or every year if you're still interested in it. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Always helps me out. Drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay up to date with the latest videos. And we will catch you out there, guys. See ya.